Hey guys, Jack here from FX Education. Gold has been flying recently. Looking over the last 15 years, it's appreciated over 400%. So it's no wonder it always seems to be talked about as one of the most popular investment vehicles for investors and traders all around the world. Today we will discuss the reasons why gold is so valuable, the outlook of gold's price coming into 2021, and whether or not you should be adding gold to your watch list in 2021. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. So, let's talk about gold. The value of gold is determined by the market 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and trades predominantly as a function of sentiment. This means its price is less affected by the supply of gold and more affected by demand for gold. Although supply grows year on year, the new supply is vastly outweighed by the sheer size of above ground, which is of course the hoarded gold. Put simply, gold's price is determined by demand rather than changes in supply. Let's check out what factors cause changes in demand for gold. Gold, as of August 2020, was over $2,000 per ounce. This is up considerably from levels of under $100 per ounce seen 50 years ago. Several factors account for an increased desire to hoard the shiny yellow metal. These include systemic financial concerns, inflation, and war or political crisis. From a fundamental perspective, gold is generally viewed as a favourable hedge against inflation, as well as geopolitical uncertainty. Gold also functions as a good store of value against a declining currency, and also is a great example of a safe haven asset during regional or worldwide turmoil. It is also important to remember that the price of gold is generally inversely related to the value of the United States dollar, because the metal is quoted in US dollars. All else being equal, a stronger US dollar means lowering the price of gold, while a weaker US dollar is likely to drive the price of gold higher because more gold can be purchased when the dollar is weaker. Dating back hundreds of years, people have held gold for various reasons. Societies and now economies have placed value on gold, thus increasing its importance. It is seen as a safe haven when other forms of currency don't work, which seems to act as insurance against tough times. This is particularly relevant in today's climate, so here are 3 practical reasons to think about buying some gold in 2021. Over the past few months, we've already seen dollar weakness, emphasised by the rally of EURUSD from the 1.08 mark to nearly the 1.2 mark. Analysts from investment banks such as Goldman Sachs and UBS suggest the weakness is likely to continue due to rock bottom US interest rates, as well as a greater fiscal deficit from attempts to reduce the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. If this is to continue, any commodity quoted against the US dollar is likely to rise in value. This makes gold a prime candidate for increased growth heading into 2021. Gold has historically been an excellent hedge against inflation because its price tends to rise when the cost of living increases. Over the past 50 years, investors have seen gold prices soar and the stock market plunge due to high inflation years. This is when paper currency loses its purchasing power to inflation. As a result of this, gold tends to be priced in those currency units and therefore rises along with everything else. Have I lost you? Sorry, let's backtrack a little bit. Inflation is when the growth in money supply, that is the amount of money in an economy, is growing faster than an economy's output. So, if an economy is not doing so well, like we are seeing in the majority of the world due to the coronavirus pandemic, and the US government decide they're going to release a lot of money into the economy through things such as quantitative easing and low interest rates, we are likely to see inflation as the growth in the money supply is greater than the growth in the US economy. Back up to speed? Awesome. So, as you probably know, the US economy is not doing that well. This is a direct result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and economic growth is forecast to actually be negative this year. So what would you say if I told you that nearly 20% of all US dollars were created in the past year? If you said something about inflation, you are absolutely correct. Gold retains its value not only in times of financial uncertainty, but in times of geopolitical uncertainty. It is often called the crisis commodity because people flee to its relative safety when world tensions rise. During such times, it often outperforms other investments. With Brexit looming large and the impact of COVID-19 on the UK, it's likely that there'll be a mass unemployment around the globe. Uncertainty and fallout is likely to be at levels rarely ever seen before, and this is likely to propel gold well over that $2,000 mark. So, there are many unusual and ingenious ways to capitalise on movements in gold's price, including trading gold bullion and coins. However, let's leave those to the hoarders and central banks and focus on how regular investors can invest in gold. Most traders who start out in Forex can likely trade gold, or XAU USD, as they probably know it. This is done for their standard accounts by using CFDs. A standard contract size is 100 ounces of gold, so make sure you're using proper risk management as gold can be very volatile. Other ways of investing in gold include ETFs or individual gold mining stocks such as Kirkland Lake Gold. Although gold gets all the attention, there are other precious metals that could be an alternative, with good reasons behind them too. Whilst gold is flirting around its all-time highs, silver shares similar fundamentals that suggest an appreciation is around the corner, but has over 50% upside until it reaches its peak set way back in 2011. Oh, and if you're looking for alternative precious metals, you can also take a look at platinum too. So guys, now you know my top 3 reasons why I'll be investing in gold in 2021. Head into the comments section and let me know what you're keeping your eyes on as 2021 approaches. And as always guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button, and more importantly, hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more content just like this. Cheers guys, and I will see you in the next one.